Oh, sir, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, who say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Kieran, our ANLS ambassador, and Miss Cora McGibbon. I've been lucky to hear her sing for a few years now, both at cattlemen's conventions, NCVA conventions. She'll probably wind up on the next American Idol, I'm sure, so watch out for her on television. With that, I think we're ready to start. This will be class number 1 of your junior market steers. Class 1 is coming into the ring now. This is Paige Hamilton from Tonopah, Arizona, and Brett Forgy from Oklahoma. Next up, we're going to need Class 1A. No, excuse me, Class 2. Class 2 to the ring. Dalton Dornberg, Rylan Sproul, Kerry Mullins, Cody Miller, and Maddie Beckwith. Class 2 should be weighing in and lining up at the show ring right now.
Well, good morning on a chilly day here in Phoenix, and we've got a nice day for a steer show. We start off with a good pair of British cattle that I think this one that wins is a nice calf. I think he puts together the right kind of market animal shape and the right kind of composition, and I think comparatively still has a nice look to him. I think this calf balances nicely, everything fits together. I think just a nice place to start in the British division. This calf here in second, I think just the doability and the feeding ability of him is fine. He's good bodied, he's got enough on him to go ahead and grade, but I think comparatively, excuse me, maybe just not quite as shapely, not quite as neat in the way that he's put together, but nice pair of cattle here to start off this market steer show. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion British market steer was exhibited by Brett Forgy out of Cato, Oklahoma. Give him a big round of applause. Second place is Paige Hamilton from Tonopah, Arizona, with your reserve British champion. Class 2 is weighing in and should be coming into the show shortly. Ryan Sproul, please make your way to the show ring. Ryan Sproul to the show ring, please. Market steers, just a reminder, you're weighing in prior to entering the show ring, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time so we can keep this show moving. Class 3, this is just a heads up for Class 3, is Peyton Berry, Tristan Davis. You can start making your way to the show ring. Peyton Berry, Tristan Davis, you are Class 3. Julia Fry, Tara Burone, Devin Gaines, Michaela Grady, Zoe Griffin, Tristan Himes, you are Class 4, so you should be making your way over here shortly. As soon as we get Class 2 in the ring, it's a small class of 3, and we'll move right into Class 4. Remember, you guys are weighing in prior to the show, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Last call for Ryan Sproul. Last call for Ryan Sproul. Class 2 will be entering the ring. Class 2. Class 2 is currently in the ring. That means Peyton Berry and Tristan Davis, you should be weighing in over at the show ring. Small class there of Class 3. So Class 4, you should be starting to prepare yourself to come to the show ring. This is Tara Barone, Julia Fry, Devin Gaines, Michaela Grady, Zoe Griffin, and Tristan Himes. Please get ready to move to the show ring. Our judge this morning, you've probably seen him around here. He's been here for a few days enjoying this beautiful weather in Arizona. It's Dr. Chris Cassidy, and he's judging the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Market Steer Show. Cassidy grew up on a diversified family-owned purebred Angus and grain farm in north central Illinois. He was a member of both the Blackhawks and Texas A&M University Livestock judging team. He then went on to the University of Illinois, where he served as the livestock judging team coach while he completed his PhD in cow-calf ruminant nutrition. Dr. Cassidy is now an instructor and the livestock judging team coach at Iowa State University. He has judged shows in over 35 states, including the Houston Livestock Show, Fort Worth Stock Show, National Western, and the North American International Livestock Exposition. He currently resides in Iowa with his wife Katie and their sons Bo and Lincoln, and is heavily involved in the promotion and exhibition of the family Angus herd, C5 Angus. Dr. Cassidy advises that nobody is ever going to give you anything. You've got to go and take it. He is super excited to be here to judge today, and so we ordered up this freezing weather so that he could feel like he was at home. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Chris Cassidy as your judge this morning.
Nice class of black calves, and I think it's a good pair of cattle here on top that have a few trade-offs, but I think the calf that wins, I think you start with just market fundamentals, and to me this calf's shaped a little better, and you get right on top of these cattle. I think he handles just a little more aggressively all the way back to his 13th, and he's got just a little more shape out through his hip and his quarter, and you know, for a steer that is muscular, I think when you set this pair of cattle in motion, I actually think he has an advantage in the way that he goes off of his hind leg. A little more accurate, a little more length of stride to him as well. So good kind of calf there, bold, productive, muscular, and shaped right. I think he has an advantage in structure. This calf that ends up in second has the look, and when you get him stopped, I mean, that guy is really tempting from the side. He's so good in the way that he transitions neck, shoulder, his top line's incredible. sets down on a really nice, attractive kind of hind leg, but get right on top of this guy. He maybe fades just a little bit out through, planes out through his hip, and get him in motion. He wants to tighten up just a bit, but quality alone, that first impression, that look that you get of him, I think he needs to stay towards the top end of this class. I think there's some parts of this calf that are in third that are pretty nice. This calf's got a nice shape at the top part of his skeleton. I think he's a calf that's got some cutability built into him. Still has a nice look up through his head and his neck. And he's a little rounder in his shoulder make, and again, when you set him in motion, he'll kind of wobble and get outside of himself off both ends, so maybe he doesn't organize himself quite as nicely, but a good muscular kind of a steer that has some nice pieces. This calf that rounds out our class, probably one of the leaner handling ones of the group. You like his extra substance, but a little just coarse in how he's put together. Maybe he's a calf that I just wish had a little more doability and a little more market readiness at this stage of the game. But again, a good class of steers. These kids have done a great job. Congratulations.
Your winner of class number 2 is Dalton Dornberg, Golade, Texas. Give him a round of applause. Cody Miller takes second place from Heath, Texas, followed by Cabry Mullins in Colorado. And rounding up the class is Maddie Beckwith, San Jose, California. Takes us into class 3. That means class 4, you should be lining up, weighing in as we speak. Tara Barone, Julia Fry, Devin Gaines, Michaela Grady, Zoe Griffin, Tristan Himes. Please make your way to the show ring immediately. Class 3 is now coming into the show ring. Tara Barone, Julia Fry, please make your way to the show ring. Tara Barone, Julia Fry. Michaela Grady, also Michaela Grady, you three please make your way to the show ring. Get weighed in. This is your last call.
Another good pair of steers here as we creep up into the heavy 12 range, and I think both of them could maybe be perfected in a spot or two from a structural standpoint, but I think this calf wins pretty handily, and not just in terms of muscle volume. I think he's got a decisive advantage there, but this composition tied together with his freshness and his feature, I think he's the logical place to start in this pair of cattle. I like his muscle shape when he gets him stocked and put together. I think he gives you enough quality in terms of his look from the side. Just nice calf there to lead off with. Young lady's got a good calf here in second as well, and in terms of getting your hands on him, he's got a market-ready kind of feel. I think he's got plenty of progression of his finish over his final ribs, and he's a good body, good doing kind of calf. But compared to that one, he's a little plainer both in just his look and his muscle shape. But that young lady's done a nice job with that calf. He's ready to roll. I still think there's some quality grade incentives in his carcass. So again, good pair of steers. Congratulations.
Your class winner is Tristan Davis from Grenville, New Mexico. Let's give him a big round of applause. Congratulations. Peyton Berry rounds out the class from Stratford, Texas. Takes us on into class 4. These are going to be steers ranging in the 1,300-pound range. Class 4. That means class 5, you are on deck. Cody Foley, Taylor Glover, Claire McCormick, and Taylor Vasquez. Taylor Vasquez, Claire McCormick, Taylor Glover, Cody Foley. You should be making your way to the show ring so you can weigh in. Class 4 is entering the show ring as we speak. These steers are weighing in the 1,300-pound range. Want to say a special thank you to our sponsors this morning: Showbloom, Sullivan Supply, WW Rodeo Livestock Systems, Tractor Supply, Western Ag Life, You Can Bid. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our sponsors a big round of applause for making this show possible today. Julia Fry, please make your way to the show ring. And Michaela Grady, this is your final call.
Jim, who are we missing?
Julia Fry and Kayla Grady.
Michaela Grady's in. Michaela Grady's in there.
Julia Fry?
Michaela Grady's this blue shirt right here.
Julia Fry, we have Michaela Grady.
Julia Fry.
Julia Fry.
Julia Fry, your class is in the show ring. This is your final call. Julia Fry, you better be making your way here. Your class is in the show ring.
Julia? Katie, she's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that means class 4 is in the show ring now. Class 5, please make your way to the show ring now. You must weigh in prior to the show. Cody Foley, Taylor Glover, Claire McCormick, Taylor Velasquez, please make your way to the show ring to weigh in. Class 6 is right after that. That's Michaela Grady, Cooper Popka, Joshua Salsa, and Chase Williams. Class 6. Class 5 weighing in, Class 6 getting ready. Taylor Glover and Taylor Velasquez, please make your way to the show ring. Taylor Glover and Taylor Velasquez, please come to the show ring to weigh in. Thank you. Class 6, you should be getting ready. Kyla Grady, Cooper Popica, Joshua Salsa, and Chase Williams. You guys should be getting ready. Class 4 is currently in the ring. Taylor Velasquez, this is your final call. Taylor Velasquez, this is your final call to weigh in for Class 5. Class 5.
actually a really tough class here, and it took a little extra time. And as you get these two steers, I think they need to be first and second. And I'll be honest with you, if you like them the other way, I wouldn't argue much with you. I think these are kind of the elite ones in here, and actually the longer you get them out here, I think they start to have some trade-offs. And I think for me, just looking at them, I think there are some differences in volume, but on the big picture, I think this calf's got plenty enough to him. And you get him parked and get him looking from the side. To me, this calf has just so much quality to him, and the way that his neck comes up out of his shoulder, and the freshness that he's got there, probably lays in just a little bit neater there in his shoulder. Again, I think that's just a really high quality kind of calf. He's not as powerful as the calf that ends up in second, but by no means do I think that steer's light muscled. And honestly, I just like his look, and I like the presence that he has from the side. This calf here in second, like I said, you want to switch it, wouldn't argue much with you. I think this calf is a little wider chested. I think he comes out of his shoulder a little bolder with a little more aggressive kind of shape. He's a calf that's big hipped and big ended. He still gives you an all right look, but just a little bit, a little open there at the edge of his shoulder. That tail head sets up, and I think he's just a little weird there, but that's a good pair there. Like I said, if you like him the other way, I wouldn't argue much with you. Calf here in third is no slouch either. This guy up high, I really like his shape and the turn he has on the back of his shoulder. Loin edges sit up in him good, and he's stout featured. Looks like a man when you get him out here. Problem is down low, I probably don't think he's quite as square and as quite as genuine. I don't know if he just tracks just quite as wide and that his foundation is those ones in front of him. That's still a really, really good steer there in three. The calf that turns the corner and comes out in four, again, that's a calf that I think is really, really good in his own right again. And he's a calf that's got a nice kind of turn up high. He's definitely got plenty of muscle. Get these cattle in motion. He wants to creep up in his spine just a little bit. And I don't think he's perfect just in the base of his forerib and down through his flanks. And when that comes up, it kind of accentuates that little harder kind of body shape that he's got. But again, muscular, good presented, stout made kind of steer, darn good one to be in four. The calf that comes next, real easy doing, real easy, easy feeding kind of calf that's got some depth to rib. Congratulations, young lady. It's got some market readiness to him. I think of these first five, he's just the plainest when you get your hands on him. A little patchier there over his final ribs, and just doesn't have the same kind of muscle expression. Round our class out with one that's really neat made. I like just the way he's refined, but probably a little bit too refined because a little fragile in his construction and probably just doesn't have enough muscle to move any higher in this class. But 6 awfully good steers. If you would give them a nice round of applause.
Your first place winner of class number 4 is Tristan Himes from Sterling City, Texas. Let's give him a round of applause. Michaela Grady is second from Grandview, Texas. 3 is Julia Fry from Johnstown, Colorado, followed by Devin Gainey from Newton, Kansas in 4th. 5th is Zoe Griffin from Pinedale, Wyoming. And tailing the end of the class there is Tara Barone from Chico, California. And that completes class number 4. On the way into the ring now is class number 5. These steers are weighing anywhere from 1360 up to 1369. Class 6, you should be weighing in as we speak. Michaela Grady, Copper Polka, Joshua Sousa, Chase Williams. Please be weighing in at this time. That means Cooper Arnold and Kaylee Hall, you are on deck for Class 7. Class 6 needs to be weighing in. Class 7 on deck. And Class 5 is currently in the ring. For those of you just joining us, Dr. Chris Cassidy has graced us this morning with his presence to judge the Junior Market Steer Show. He's been here for a few days enjoying the beautiful weather here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hails from Iowa. Is currently the instructor and livestock judging team coach at Iowa State University. He's judged shows in over 35 states, including the Houston Livestock Show, Fort Worth Stock Show, National Western, and North American International Livestock Exposition. He works with his family in exhibiting their Angus herd, C5 Angus. We're pleased to have Dr. Cassidy with us sorting these steers this morning. He has his work cut out for him as we have 18 classes to go through. Chase Williams, Class 6, you need to be weighing in. Chase Williams, Class 6, you need to be weighing in. Cooper Arnold, Kaylee Hall, you should be on deck for Class 7. Cooper Arnold, Kaylee Hall. Chase Williams, please make your way to the show ring. Chase Williams, you should be ringside at this time weighing in. Chase Williams, please come ringside. That's Class 6.
Another real good class here, and I think there's 4 that are really stout, really good kinds of cattle here in this particular lineup, and I think there's 2 of them that, in terms of just how they're put together, I probably prefer. And then within this pair of cattle, there's just more beef in this guy in terms of just his rib cage and how he comes out of his forerib and his center body. I just think he's a little fuller and a little bolder and a little beastlier in that regards. And for a calf that has that kind of power and that kind of punch to him, I think he's plenty good enough. The way he gets around this ring, just a good kind of calf to lead off this particular class. 1 and 2nd, I like his freshness a bunch. He's a guy that I really like his joint work, and I like his feature, and I love just how up-headed and fresh he is. He just looks a little empty. You get off to the side of him from a distance, and he's a little hard right there in his forerib and in his flank, and I like to just give him a little more fill there. But I like that guy's leanness. I like his athleticism and the way that he gets out and reaches off both ends. This calf here in 3rd's got some parts. I think you get on top of him, he's got a nice turn right out behind his shoulder. Big, powerful, big, thick-ended kind of a steer. Gets just a little awkward there in his hip and his hind leg construction. A little low there in his pin set. Maybe it's just a little tight, a little outside of himself there as he sets down behind. Again, another nice calf that comes in here that's lean and got some cutability built into him. She gets him stopped, and that's probably where he looks his best. Get him in motion, kind of rock up there in his shoulder, and he just doesn't keep his spine and his top line in him quite as nicely as the other ones. But 4 good steers again. That's a great class. If you would, please congratulate those kids. Give them a nice round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate your Class 5 winner, Claire McCormick from Canyon, Texas. 2nd place was Taylor Glover, Elgin, Oklahoma. Exhibiting number 3 was Cody Foley, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and ending up the class is Tylee Velasquez from Bloomfield, New Mexico. That completes class number 5. On your way into the ring is class number 6. These steers weighing in from $13.92 all the way up to $13.99. Class 7, you should be weighing in now. That's Cooper Arnold, Kaylee Hall. Means class 8, you're on deck. We got a short class 7, so class 8 be making your way to the show ring as well. Maddie Beckwith, Shelby Johnson, Kylie Waters. Cooper Arnold, you should be here. Kaylee Hall, you should be ringside. Maddie Beckwith, Shelby Johnson, Kylie Waters, you should be making your way to the show ring. Entering into the show ring now is class number 6. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors this morning for the Junior Market Show. That's Showbloom, Sullivan Supply, WW Rodeo Livestock Systems, Tractor Supply, Western Ag Live Media, and You Can Bid. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give those sponsors a big round of applause. We certainly appreciate their support. If you clap, you'll warm up, I promise. There we go. A little more participation.
Well, another really good class here, and we're creeping up in weights a little bit, but boy, I tell you what, as good as this class is, I think this one wins pretty easily. And this calf, I think, for one that does weigh up in the upper part of 13, to be that fresh and still have the right kind of shape, but then have those kind of next level pieces, and the way that he ties his neck up on his shoulder, and the way he handles his skeleton and his structure, I think that guy's pretty darn good. And in a class that has some quality, I think he's the one that surfaces fairly logically. I guess for me, it's a little bit more of a decision between 2, 3, and even 4. This calf in second, I like this calf when he's standing still right here. I think this guy, in terms of just his feature and his head and just the extra bone and substance he has, body shape and the aggression of muscle is good. I think compared to the one that wins, he's just maybe not as extreme in some of those extra pieces, but a good calf that I like his feature and I like the ruggedness that he brings to the table. I could think you could switch this pair in 2 and 3, and I wouldn't argue much with you. I love the joint work and I love the flexibility in this calf that comes around in 3. Get him off to the side. He's a little longer in his muzzle, and you get your hands on him. To me, he probably just didn't handle quite as hard and as shapely as those 2 that are right in front of him. But as far as a set of running gear and some skeletal quality, really awesome pastern set, flexible kind of look to him. Just like to lift his pin bones up just a bit and just make him a little harder to the touch and strengthen his jaw and his head up. But that's a good steer there in 3. This calf in 4th, not a shortage of muscle or carcass merit. I think this guy's got some muscle and he's got the right kind of handle to him. Just the one that I think from a structural perspective, a little upright there in his hock, and that's creeping his tail head up. Probably the most off balance of those first 4, but that's a great set of steers again. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Let's give them all a nice round of applause.
Your Class 6 winner is Michaela Grady from Grandview, Texas. Let's give him a round of applause. Copper Polka from Loveland, Texas takes 2nd place, and 3rd is Joshua Sousa, Helmer, California. Rounding out the class is Chase Williams from Johnstown, Colorado. That completes Class 6. Coming into the ring now is Class 7. These steers weigh 1429 up to 1439. Class 8, you should be ringside weighing in. That's Maddie Beckwith, Shelby Johnson, and Kylie Waters. You should be weighing in at this time. That's a small class. So Class 9, Rebecca Andrews and Christian Gutierrez, you are on deck. Christian Gutierrez, Rebecca Andrews, you are on deck. Kylie Waters, Shelby Johnson, Maddie Beckwith, you should be weighing in. And in the ring currently is class number 7.
another really nice pair of steers here in this early 14 class, and I think that they're a little bit different. And the reason that this this steer wins is, I think at this weight frame, just he's been able to probably hold his maturity together just a little bit better, and the shape of his head and the shape of his shoulder and down through his lower third, I think he reads just a little fresher and a little more athletic, and how that's all put together. You get your hands on him, I think it's the same story. He's a little shapelier, a little squarer there over his edges, big hip, kind of a steer that's got a nice look. The young lady's done a good job with that calf. We'll get him back out here for our division. Young man, you've done a good job with this steer as well. That is a good body, good feet, one that I think, as far as just market readiness, he's right on target. You get him stopped and put together like that, I think he's really, really nice. He's starting to just push in his chest, and a little heavier sheath, kind of older headed steer that I think just lost a little bit of his shape. It's nothing you did, it's just Father Time starting to work against him a little bit. But I love this guy's body shape. I love his practicality and his feeding ability. Good pair of steers again. These two kids have done a great job with these heavyweight calves. So if you would, again, please give them a nice round of applause.
Your Class 7 winner is Kaylee Hall from Miami, Oklahoma. Give her a round of applause. Following up by Cooper Arnold from Medina, Texas. Class 8 is making their way into the show ring. These steers weighing from 1490 up to 1530. That means Class 9, you should be weighing in. That's Rebecca Andrews, Christian Gutierrez. You should be weighing in as we speak. Class 10. Class 10, you should be making your way to the show ring. Class winners from Class 2 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you need to be making your way to the show ring for the selection of the champion and reserve champion black steer. Dalton Dornberg, Cody Miller, Peyton Berry, Tristan Davis, Tristan Hines, Michaela Grady, Claire McCormick, Taylor Glover, Michaela Grady, Copper Polka, Kaylee Hall, and Arnold Cooper. You all need to be making your way back to the show ring for the black champion and reserve champion steer drive. First and second place winners.
Well, another nice class. We've got 3 calves in here that are a little heavier weight, but I think the calf that wins does so fairly handily. I think he's just the neatest and most pleasant to look at in terms of not only his structural quality, but I think that guy just balances nicely, and the young gal's done a nice job of getting him out here and presented. So he may not be the most muscular, he's got enough, and I think just from a sheer standpoint of quality, he excels. I think he gets a little closer in second and third for me. Both of these steers probably need changed in a spot or two. I just think this steer in second's got a little more practicality built into his structure, as well as his feeding and market readiness. I think comparatively, he's probably the one that's the most disappointing on the handle. I'd like to expand this guy in terms of his rib cage and his upper skeleton, give him just a shot more hip and quarter, but I like his joint work and I like his feeding ability a little better than the calf that ends up in 3. Calf in third probably has the biggest back, and he's probably as stout-hipped as any of them. And if you get your hands on this calf, he's actually pretty impressive. I love how fresh he is over his final ribs, and you know, he's a calf that, from a carcass standpoint, I think excels. But for me, I got to have him just a little bit more right in their structure. And he needs set back in his knee and his shoulder. He needs to have a little looser set and used to his hind leg. That's a good carcass steer. You've done a great job of taking care of him and feeding him. Really good set of steers again. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, your class winner for class number 8 is Kylie Waters from Oklahoma. Give her a round of applause. Followed up by Shelby Johnson from Idaho. And following that in third place is Maddie Beckwith, California. Brings us to class number 9. Rebecca Andrews, Christian Gutierrez coming into the ring. Following this selection here, we will then do the grand and reserve grand drive for black steers. So any class winners, 1 and 2, first and second place from all the classes previously, please start lining up for the grand drive. Dalton Dornberg, Cody Miller, Peyton Berry, Tristan Davis, Tristan Hines, Michaela Grady, Kayla McCormick, Taylor Glover, Michaela Grady, Copper Polka, Kaylee Hall, Cooper Arnold, Kylie Waters, and Shelby Johnson. You should all be ringside, ready to go for the Grand Black Champion and Reserve Champion.
we're getting into our heavyweight class here again, and obviously we've got a pair of calves that are plenty good sized, but they're still good cattle nonetheless, and that's still important. I think you could alter this calf that wins structurally, no doubt, but I don't know if either one of them just perfect it, and so I think it becomes his pretty decisive advantage in body shape and volume and muscle that sorts this pair for me. I get my hands on this calf, and I still think he's fairly square and pretty aggressive just in his shape, and maintains that all the way out through his hip and his quarter. Until the young lady gets him stopped and put together, I think he still gives you enough look from the side. This calf here that ends up in second, real long bodied, and I like the shape of his shoulder and his angulation up front better than the one that wins. He's a calf that relative to his size, I just like to just blow him apart, give him more shape there to his forerib, just set him wider there at his pins and base, and maybe give him just a little different shape there to his hind leg. But a good pair of steers nonetheless. Those two young people have been doing a great job. Again, congratulations on their winner and their second.
Hold that first place. Right over here, baby. Stay right here, okay? Okay, thank you.
Class number 9, your winner there is Rebecca Andrews. Let's give her a big round of applause from Canyon, Texas. Christian Gutierrez followed up there from Lubbock, Texas. This will now take us into the champion black steer drive and your reserve champion black steer drive. So these are the first and second place winners from class 2 through 9. Dr. Cassidy will be saddled with the decision of picking your champion black and reserve. Dalton Dorenberg and Cody Miller, both from Texas, your Class 2 winners. Peyton Berry from Texas, Tristan Davis from New Mexico, your Class 3 winners. Class 4 winners were Tristan Hines, Texas, Michaela Grady, Texas. Your Class 5 winners were Claire McCormick from Texas, Taylor Glover, Oklahoma. Your Class 6 winners were Michaela Grady and Copper Polpaka, both from Texas. Class 7 winners, Kaylee Hall, Oklahoma, Cooper Arnold, Texas. Class 8 winners, Kaylee Waters, Oklahoma, Shelby Johnson, Idaho, and followed by your Class 9 winners, Rebecca Andrews, Christian Gutierrez, both from Texas. So all your first place winners are currently in the ring. Second place winners are standing by after the selection of the champion. Dr. Cassidy will be going through and selecting your champion black steer for the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Show Junior Market Cattle Show.
Well, a really, really good lineup, and I know we've got some other crosses and some other classes yet to go, but this black division has been absolutely impressive. I guess it was kind of fun. It's kind of funny as we were going through some of these classes. I told you I thought they were tough in some spots, but you know, I think when you get these winners back out here, I feel pretty confident and just kind of trusted my instincts and using the ones that hit me pretty hard, because that's the opportunity you get when they're this good and they have this kind of quality and this kind of market just principles to them. You just get to go out and use the one you like as a judge, and I'm pretty fond of a couple of them out here, and I remembered them in class, and they come out here, and to me they still hit me the same way, so I'm just going to stick with my guns and go out and use them. But this is an exceptional lineup, guys, and you kids have worked your tails off to get them looking this good. It takes a lot of preparation and a lot of sacrifice, so my hat's off to you. I'm going to go show you my champion in reserve, but those of you guys ringside, again, please put your hands together for these kids. Give them a big hand as I go pick your champion in reserve in the black division.
Ladies and gentlemen, your grand black steer for the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Show goes to Michaela Grady, Grandview, Texas. Let's give her a big round of applause. Congratulations to you. Your reserve champion goes to Tristan Himes out of Sterling, Texas. Let's give him a round of applause. He is your reserve champion black steer for the 2018 National Livestock Show. Class 10, we're going to be moving into our red division. Class 10, please make your way to the show ring. Kennedy Crane, Ethan Drager, Mason Lefsty, Copper Popolka, and Aubrey Sturgeon. This is the start of our red division. want to make your way there. We have one class in the red division. These steers are going to be weighing in starting at 1,224 pounds all the way up to 1,399. Mia and Sinias, class 11. Mia, you should be making your way to the show ring. We have one class of reds and then class 12. So class 11, Mia and Sinias, you should be making your way to the show ring. Kylie Kunzler, Jade Stowell, Caden Arnold, Morgan Gaines, Dylan Hollinger, Blade Wilson. You all should be making your way ringside as well. Those will be the start of our smoky classes. Class 10 is your red division for the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Show Junior Market Show. We have one class of red, so the winner of this class will be your champion and your reserve champion red. As soon as we get them weighed in and Dr. Cassidy makes his selection, we'll be moving right into the Smokies. Class 11 and Class 12. Mia and Sinias, Kylie Kunzler, Jade Stowell, Caden Arnold, Morgan Gaines, Dylan Hollinger, Blade Wilson. You should be making your way ringside to be checked in. This is Class 10. Class 12, you should be lining up and weighing in. Kylie Kunzler, Caden Arnold, Morgan Gaines, Dylan Hollinger, Blade Wilson. Please make your way to the show ring to start checking in for Class 12. Kylie Kunzler, Class 12, you need to be ringside immediately checking in. Kylie Kunzler, ringside for Class 12.
just one class of reds. So this serves as our grand and reserve, and we've got a big spread here in weight. So it took me just a second to get through those differences and where they're at carcass-wise. But I guess I'm pretty comfortable leading off with this young lady's steer. He came in the ring and I liked him, and I really never thought twice about not starting with him, because I think he's the only calf in this particular lineup that brings forth the right kind of muscle shape and still stays sound. And I think that's important. I think that calf's got a good set of running gear into him that still complements some extra muscle, some extra bulk, and some doability to him. Nice feature, presented well by this young lady. Just a nice calf here to lead off this division. Got a little closer between second and third for me, and as you take that last spin there, I think there's enough of an advantage in structure to sort this one into second. I think he's a little more comfortable off that offside leg there, and just the way that he goes. He's still a good feed, kind of a calf. I like him up high. As you get right behind him, he maybe just needs to be squared up there in his upper hip, maybe drop his rear rib and flank and just make him a little bolder right there at the top of his hip. But a calf that I still think has the right kind of muscle shape. I think he beats the 1 and 3 just on mobility and structure and comfort. This calf in third, when he's standing still, he's got some really cool pieces. This guy has got as big a hip and quarter as any of them in here. His back shape is big. It's unfortunate that the longer he's out here, he's really starting to struggle. I don't know if it's an injury or what's going on here, but he's just not comfortable enough and starting to not put any weight on that leg. It's a misfortunate thing. I apologize that those kind of bad things happen, but he's just not comfortable enough in here. If he is, I think it changes the dynamic of this class going forward. This calf here in 4, really extended, kind of a lightweight one, and relative to its frame, that's a leaner made one. Just doesn't have the same sort of look and presence. We round out our class with a really good feeding calf. He's got as much doability and practicality in his body type and structure, but I think he's the plainest in terms of his muscle shape. Like to strengthen his feature, intensify his bone work, and stouten him all the way through. But a good class nonetheless. Good steers. Congratulations.
Your Class 10 winner and your red champion for the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Show Junior Market Show is Aubrey Sturgeon from Rocky, Oklahoma. Let's give her a big round of applause and congratulations to you. Our second place and red reserve champion today is Copper Popelka from Loveland, Texas. Let's give him a round of applause and congratulations to you. Rounding out that class today is Ethan Drager from Bridgeport, Texas, Kennedy Crane from Buckeye, Arizona, and Mason Lesty from Cameron, Texas. That completes your red division. We're going to be moving right into the Smoky division. Class 12, you should be weighing in Kylie Kunzler, Jade Stowell, you should be ringside. Class 13, Caden Arnold, Morgan Gaines, Dylan Hollinger, and Blade Wilson, please be ringside. Class 13, Smoky division, Caden Arnold, Morgan Gaines, Dylan Hollinger, Blade Wilson, ringside.
Well, just a single entry, a nice way to start off this smoke division, and a calf that's lightweight, and I think just where he's at, progressiveness of finish kind of follows that. So he's lean enough, but I think he's got a little bit more time and a little bit more maturity yet to go. But I think this young lady's done a nice job with him. Put him together. I think he's got a nice look to him from the side. Really nice single entry here. Great way to start off this division. Congratulations.
Mia Encinas from New Mexico. Let's give her a round of applause. She is your lightweight division there. Mia, stay close because we only have a few classes and you'll be coming back in for the Champion Smoky Drive. Caden Arnold, Morgan Gaines, Dylan Hollinger, Blade Wilson, you all should be weighing in at this point, Class 13. Class 14, you should be on standby. Tatiana Bullock, Cameron Choate, Jaeger Horn, Caleb Johnston, and Cameron Lutke. Class 14, you should be on standby. Class 13, you need to be weighing in. Class 13 of the smoke division, you should be weighing in right now. Class 13, you should be weighing in. Caden Arnold, Morgan Gaines, Dylan Hollinger, Blade Wilson.
Another good pair of steers here. I think this yellow and white calf wins this class pretty handily. I think he has not only a decisive advantage in carcass merit, I think he's a little bit shapelier over his loin edge and out through his hip and his quarter, but still get him from off to the side, and I think he balances nicely. So I think he's a very nice blend of some quality, yet some carcass merit and some market principles. So just a good calf there that leads off this class pretty logically. A good steer here in second. This one actually might be just a shot looser there in his hind leg, but I think at the same time he's just a little bit flatter there in his forerib. Like to lay his shoulder back just a touch, and big picture just give him a shot more muscle if he's going to run with that one in front of him. Good pair of steers though. Congratulations.
Your Class 12 winner goes to Kylie Kunzler from Park Valley, Utah. Let's give her a big round of applause. Kylie, don't go far. You got a few more classes and then you'll be on the drive for the Smoke Champion. Second place in Class 12 goes to Jade Stowell from Perrin, Utah. Let's give her a round of applause and congratulations to you. Take us into Class 13 of the Smoke Division. These steers weighing in from in the 1,300-pound range, 1,310 to 1,325. Class 14, you should be weighing in Tatiana Bullock, Cameron Choate, Jaeger Horn, Caleb Johnston, Cameron Lutke. And then rounding out our smoke division will be Class 15. You're on deck. Styles Payton, Mackenzie Swanmeyer, Cade Waldrop. Choate, you should be ringside and weighing in. Cameron Choate, ringside weighing in, please. Class 13's in the ring. Class 15, you are on deck. Styles Payton, Mackenzie Swarmeyer, and Cade Waldron. Please make your way ringside. You're on deck.
Another really nice class. I think actually a fairly close decision here on top between 1 and 2, and you kind of go back and forth a little bit on some traits, but this calf to me just kind of, he's just pleasing, and I don't know like if he's quite as muscular as the one in second, but this guy suits me just in terms of quality and the way that he blends together the right kind of feature with still a really attractive and smooth and really well balanced kind of look from the side. He's lean enough in his composition, so he's not a yielding concern, but if you want to sort this class solely on muscle, volume, and power, I think you probably start the one behind him, but I said he had enough. I think his joint work and his balance and his presence are really, really nice. This calf here in second, I think if you get right on top of the cattle, he's the one that you're really impressed with his shape right behind his shoulder, maintains that over a really powerful kind of a loin edge, a little more hip and quarter in this steer as well. It's not that he's ugly. He's a calf that maybe just gets a little funny out of his shoulder and how he gets out and goes. Maybe not as neat in terms of his head and the top of his neck shape and just his lower body proportion, but good pair of steers there. I like both of those cattle quite well. This steer here in third probably is naturally the longest spined one of any of them in here. I get my hands on him and I'm a little disappointed in his shape, and with that I think for a calf that needs to have more aggressive turn, he's a little bit awkward there in his pastern, so he needs fixed in a couple major areas there, but he's a good looking calf standing still. He's fresh headed. The young lady's done a great job with that calf. A really bolt-bodied one that comes next, and again, I think he has enough muscle. I don't know if it's a real concern with any of these calves in here. He's just the plainest to look at, and from a structural perspective, he's a little up and down off both ends, so creeps up in his spine as a result when you get him asked out here in motion. But again, a good set of steers nonetheless. I like all 4 of them quite well. Kids have done a great job. Again, congratulations on an outstanding class.
Your Class 13 winner, Blade Wilson from Capitan, New Mexico. Let's give him a round of applause. Blade, don't go far. We got 2 more classes, and then you'll be back in for the champion drive for your smoke division. Winner, or second place in Class 13 is Caden Arnold from Medina, Texas. Third place, Morgan Gaines from Newton, Kansas. And Dylan Hollinger from Harris, Montana. Let's give all of those individuals a big round of applause. That completes Class 13. Oh, excuse me, Missouri. Class 14 is in the ring now. Takes us to Class 15. You should be weighing in Styles Payton, Mackenzie Swanemeyer, and Cade Waldron. You should be weighing your steers in, and following that will be the champion drive for your smoke division. Those of you just joining us, our judge this morning is Dr. Chris Cassidy, hails from Iowa. He is now an instructor and the livestock judging team coach at Iowa State University. He's judged in over 35 states, including the Houston Livestock Show, Fort Worth Stock Show, National Western, and the North American International Livestock Exposition. His wife Katie and sons Bo and Lincoln are heavily involved in the promotion and exhibition of the family Angus herd, C5 Angus. It's a pleasure to have Dr. Cassidy with us this morning. He's been working hard the last few days. At 2:30, we will be selecting your champion and reserve champion of the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Junior Market Cattle Show. That will take place over in the Agricultural Center, just to the east of the show ring. It's where the hogs have been showing the past few days. So at 2:30 will be the selection of your champion and reserve champion in the Agricultural Center. Want to thank our sponsors today: Showbloom, Sullivan Supply, WW Rodeo Livestock Systems, Tractor Supply, Western Ag Life Media, and You Can Bid. Cade Waldrip, you should be reporting ringside. Cade Waldrip, you need to be ringside weighing in.
Wow, what a really, really good class. This is by far the toughest one I've had. And I would say, and I totally understand it, I've been to different shows and I've taken some ones that I thought could compete. And some of you guys are third, fourth, fifth, probably didn't think that that's the way it was going to be, but you got in such a tough class. And it's not really an accurate reflection of how good I think your steers are. Those are some excellent steers on that side, folks. And I hope you guys can recognize that these kids have put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. I just think that there's two of them up here that are kind of a little more elite in a lot of different ways. And this calf that wins, just as I say there's two elite ones, I think he wins this class, for me, fairly comfortably. And I think this is a steer that the way he ties together, the right kind of muscle shape and composition, I'll be honest, I think his feature is awesome. His head looks like a man, but it's still clean enough at the top of his neck. I think he moves plenty good enough. Just a good steer. I think that calf presents a lot of really high quality things, and I think that in a class that has quality, he still surfaces for me. This one's no slouch in second. That's a good steer, and you should be darn proud of that calf, because I think when you get him stopped, you're a great showman. You get him put together. I mean, that guy has got a neck set that shoots right out of the top of his shoulder. He's still got some muscle and some freshness to him. A little heavier in his sheath, but on a comparative sense, just where his tail head sits relative to his pin bones, I'd like to square the upper part of his hip up just a little bit to run with this guy, but you should be darn proud of that steer. That's a good looking, good sound, structured, lean, athletic looking calf there in two. I think it's hard between 3, 4, and 5. You can absolutely justify moving some of these calves around, and I don't discredit you at all. This calf right here, when you get him stopped, I think he proportions nicely. I think he's good in terms of his top and his bottom line. Set this calf in motion. I think he maybe just tangles up just a little bit, gets a little tight there at the ground, but I don't think any three of these steers are just perfect structurally, so I like his look. I think if you want to make a case for him being a little plainer in his shape as well, I think you can make that, Carl. This is a calf that I think has the right kind of look that matches those two that precede him in class. This young lady steer here, I think in terms of upper hip and pin width, he's as impressive as any calf in here. Really bold in terms of his upper skeleton. The base of his rib is good as well. I'd like to square this guy up. When he goes away from me, he wants to twist in at his hock and maybe isn't quite as genuine in the way that he's built down underneath. Set that knee back just a little bit and make him blend a little together a little bit better. I think he's just a touch disproportional. The base of his shoulder sits lower than his flank, and he needs squared up at his hock. So he's big up top, he's really good up there. I just like to change him underneath. This calf that rounds out our class, again, great showman, and I've got to give you credit where it's due, because that's an awesome calf. Standing still, you like him maybe as good as any of them, because his lines are right. His joint work is what I probably pick on him just a little bit. You ask him to go, he's a little too up and down there in his hock and just not stable enough in the way that he goes. But that's 5 great steers in there. Congratulations, all those exhibitors. Give a nice round of applause.
Your Class 14 winner, Jagger Horn from Anson, Texas. Give him a round of applause and stay close. We got our heavyweights, and so you'll be coming back into the ring here shortly. Second place is Cameron Choate from Hubbard, Texas. Let's give her a round of applause. Rounding out the class is Caleb Johnston from Hobbs, New Mexico. Fourth place, Tatiana Bullock from Moapa, Nevada. And Cameron Lutke from Middleton, Texas. That completes your Class 14. Class 15 is coming into the ring. This is your heavyweight smoke division. Following that, we will go right into your champion drive. So first and second place winners in your smoke division, please be ringside. Mia Encinius, Kylie Kunzler, Jade Stowell, Blade Wilson, Caden Arnold, Jagger Horn, Cameron Choate. You need to be waiting ringside for the champion drive. Class 15 is complete and in the ring. like to take the opportunity to introduce our Junior Market Prospect Cattle Show Superintendent, Katie Hanger, out there in the ring. She spends a lot of time, all volunteer time, to put this show on, put these classes together. We certainly appreciate all of her work, making these shows run smoothly. Thank you, Katie. All the way from Texas. She just moved out of Arizona.
Jim, he might want to bring his seconds in this time, so he might want to bring his seconds in this time, so let's have him go back to the building.
Second place class winners from your smoke division, we need you ringside as well. Cameron Choate, Caden Arnold, Jade Stowell. If you could make your way ringside as well and check in, please. Jade Stowell from class 12, you need to be ringside. Jade Stowell, ringside, please.
It's another pretty good class here, and I think this top pair is very, very close. And I would like to take the best parts of each one of them and put them together. To be honest with you, I'd like to just be somewhere in between the two kinds of cattle that they represent. And so if you like them the other way, I'm not going to argue much with you, but I'll tell you what I see. I think this calf for me that wins, I'm giving up a little bit of just rib cage and muscle volume, and I understand that, but I think this calf just at the ground is a little bit more right. I like the shape and the size of his foot. I think the way he lays his shoulder in and sets down to the surface is probably a little neater. But the longer they're out here, I think he does the better job of just keeping himself organized. So I think there's a little more strength there to his spine. I think he's a little stronger in his top line as well. Like I said before, he's a calf that if you get on top of him, you could easily switch this pair in terms of muscle volume and whatnot, but I like that guy at the ground. I like the look he presents to you, and I like his strength and the way he organizes himself at the stand. Now this guy is muscular. I love this guy when you get your hands on him. He has got the right kind of body shape. It's bold but still lean, and this guy's hip and quarter are big and powerful. There is no question that there's a lot of cutability in this calf. He's a little bit smaller footed at the ground, and with that, he's a calf that just doesn't set down on his pastern quite as nicely. And the longer he's out here, he's starting to weaken right in his spine and open in his shoulder. And guys, I'm being really, really critical. I like your steer a bunch. It's just little things that sort of really awesome pair there on top. This calf here in 3, I think's got some good as well. Good in his top line. I think he's definitely got some feeding ability. He's good enough in terms of his market readiness as well. He's the flattest and the narrowest one in here, and of these 3, I think he's not nearly as neat to look at. But 3 great steers again, guys. I think that's a really close decision on top, but congratulations to all those exhibitors.
Your Class 15 heavyweight winner, Cade Waldrip, and in Texas. Let's give him a round of applause. Following up in 2nd place, Styles Payton from Thorndale, Texas, and Mackenzie Swanemeyer from Ignacio, Colorado. That wraps up your smoke division. So we'll go right into your smoke champion and reserve champion selection.
Seconds in too, okay? Seconds will come in as well.
Cade and Styles, you should be just swinging right around so you can come back into the ring.
First and seconds for smokes are coming in.
Jade Stowell, you need to be ringside with your steer. While Dr. Cassidy works through the smoke division champion, reserve champion, all other colored cattle should be lining up at the moment, all of them, class 16, 17, 18. Kinley Waters, Denver McKay, Galvin Moreau, Chelsea Langley, please make your way to the show ring. Class 16, 17, 18, please make your way ringside and start weighing in. This is your 1st and 2nd place winners from the smoke division. Mia Encinius from New Mexico with your lightweight smoke steer. Class 12, your 1st place winner was Kylie Kensler from Utah. Taking 2nd place was Jade Stowell from Utah. Class 13, 1st place was Blade Wilson from New Mexico. 2nd place, Cade Nardle from Texas. First place in Class 14 was Jagger Horn from Texas. Second place was Cameron Choate from Texas. In your heavyweight division, your first place winner was Cade Waldrop. Second place, Styles Patton. Those are your first and second place winners of the Smoke division. All other colored market steer exhibitors should be lining up, weighing in. Kinley Waters, Denver McKay, Gavin Morrow, and Chelsea Langley.
Well, another really great division. Again, I know we've got some steers to sort through, but as we finished our blacks and then we get into this division, I think just as good a quality from top to bottom. These cattle are really fresh and they're really presented nicely. So my hat's off to you guys for all the work that you've put in out in the back and back at home. So again, we'll keep the show rolling on. I'm not going to go through and describe all these cattle. I've kind of done that enough in my ramblings throughout the classes, but I think it's good enough to echo those same comments. When their cattle are this good, you just get the chance to use the one that hits you the hardest. And there's three of them out here that hit me awfully hard, and I feel pretty comfortable standing behind them. So with that being said, guys, I think it's great set of cattle. They've done a great job. If you would, put your hands together for them. I'll go get you a champion reserve in this division.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion of the Smoke division goes to Jagger Horn, Anson, Texas. Let's give him a big round of applause. Congratulations, young man. Second place goes to Cameron Choate from Hubbard, Texas. Let's give her a big round of applause as she is your 2018 reserve champion from the Smoke division. Be moving into the all other colors division. Starting with Class 16, this is a single entry, your lightweight division. Kinley Waters from Oklahoma. That steer is going to be weighing in at 1,129 pounds. Class 17, you should be weighing in. Denver McKay, Gavin Morrow, you both should be weighing in for Class 17. Chelsea Langley, you will be on deck. Denver McKay, class 17, you need to be weighing in as we speak. Denver McKay, ringside, class 17.
Well, just one calf here, and 1,130 pounds, so he's light, but I think his composition's right. He's got a nice shape behind his shoulder and out of his hip, and upper skeleton's good, and I think his joint work and the way he's put together from the side is plenty good enough too. Just a good solid single entry here that I think is going to look nice in our division lineup. Give this young lady a nice hand for bringing out a really good steer.
Your class 16 winner, Kinley Waters, Waurika, Oklahoma. Give her a round of applause. That is your lightweight, all other colors division. Going into class 17, these will be your middleweights. And then Chelsea Langley, you should be weighing in as we speak. Chelsea Langley, you should be weighing in. Up in the ring is class 17, your middleweights, all other color division. In the 1,300-pound range. Kinley Waters, you should be staying close ringside. You'll be on the champion drive for the all other colors.
Well, I'll go ahead and let these kids circle these calves around. I'm going to leave them just as they stand. I think it's pretty obvious that the gray and white one needs to win this class. And again, you could probably say whatever you wanted on a comparative sense. I think there's obviously more muscle shape and there's more look and there's more presence about him. So I think this is a logical place to start, and we'll get him back out for our division lineup. You know, if you had a chance to visit with this young lady, and she said she brought this calf here as a prospect last year and then came back this year. So that's a cool story. You should hold that close to yourself because you've done a good job with this calf. He's market ready. He's got plenty of doability, and it's obvious that you've put put a lot of time into this project, but problem is he ran into a pretty good one here on top. And as far as just trying to compare them, just not the same kind of shape or presence. But these two kids have done a great job with these projects. Again, congratulations on a nice class.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Class 17 winner goes to Denver McKay from Orlando, Oklahoma. And then following him was Gavin Morrow from New Mexico. Let's give them both a big round of applause. And you guys stay close. We have one entry in the heavyweight division, and then we'll, Dr. Cassidy will be choosing your champion, all other color, and reserve champion. The overall grand and reserve champion for the 2018 Junior Market Cattle Show will be selected today at 2:30 over in the Agricultural Center. At 2:30 today will be that selection and will be your grand and reserve drive. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors of today's show: Showbloom, Sullivan Supply, WW Rodeo Livestock Systems, Tractor Supply, Western Ag Life Media, You Can Bid. Let's give those sponsors a big round of applause. We certainly appreciate their support for the 2018 National Livestock Show.
Just one entry again, and a really nice way to finish out the show. This calf's obviously a little big, but that doesn't mean he's not good. And I think for a calf that has that kind of weight behind him, the way that he's built, and just the flex and the comfort that he has at the ground, I think is very, very good. Presented very well. It's hard to keep these big steers together like you did, and so I commend you for that. We'll get him back out here for our division lineup, but if you would, give that young lady a nice hand and congratulate her on her class winner.
Congratulations to Chelsea Langley, all the way from Alabama. Let's give her a big round of applause. We'll bring our first place winners back into the ring. Kinley Waters out of Oklahoma, Denver McKay from Oklahoma, and Chelsea, stay close by. There she goes. She'll get right back in line. This is your all other color champion drive. Certainly appreciate Dr. Cassidy being here with us today, all the way from Iowa. Well-respected, well-known instructor and livestock judge from Iowa State University.
we didn't have quite as many numbers in this division, but I darn sure think that our champion out of this lineup is going to look very, very nice with the rest of those champions that we've had up to this point. So maybe it's not an issue of quantity, but the quality is definitely there in this division. So my hat's off again to these kids. We had a couple single entries, so I'll discuss what I see, because I think it can be close in between a pair of cattle for our reserve spot. And this Blue Roan up front, he's light, but this calf's pretty good. And I think actually compared to and relative to his frame, he's a calf that has some real shape. He's got some volume of muscle when you get on top of him and out of his hip and his quarter. Yeah, I think his biggest thing is he's green. He's immature in his look, but for a calf that has muscle, I think he proportions nicely. I think he gets out and flexes fairly adequately as well. Our calf in the middle division, he's right on target in terms of his market readiness. I love this calf when you get your hands on him. He's pretty explosive up high and carries that back to a powerful kind of hip and quarter. He's not just a stout one. I think that calf puts together a really nice look from the side as well. Then we get down to our heavyweight steer, and he's obviously a big one, and he's maybe not as fresh as some of the other ones in here, but we like that calf in terms of his growth and his length of body and his performance. I guess for me, relative to his frame and relative to his carcass weight, I just like to blow this calf apart. I think he's just a little flat there in his forerib, and that kind of correlates with just a plainer kind of touch up high as well. So, he's a good steer. There's two ones that I think you can argue back and forth for reserve, but for me, the champion in here is pretty clear. Young man in the middle will have this division. Congratulations. Bring that second place steer in here. Young lady, like I said before, she told me she brought this calf last year as a prospect and then brought it back as a fat steer. That's kind of what it's all about, and you can still learn a lot of things taking care of one from start to finish. So I hope you enjoyed your experience. That's a good market ready kind of calf that's bold and soft, but maybe not quite as neat as some of these other ones. I think it boils down to these two for reserve. I don't usually do this, and it's not like he's my favorite color, but I'm going to use the lightweight steer for reserve. If you give this young lady a nice hand, let's congratulate her.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, all other color, goes to Denver McKay out of Orlando, Oklahoma. Let's give him a big round of applause and congratulations. Your reserve champion, all other color, goes to Kinley Waters out of Oklahoma. Let's give her a big round of applause and congratulations to her. It's been a pleasure to be with you this morning. Let's give a big round of applause to our judge, Dr. Chris Cassidy from Iowa. Thank you, sir. Your champion and reserve champion for the 2018 Junior Market Cattle Show will be selected today at 2:30 over in the Agricultural Center. Join us this afternoon for that. And one last time, I'd like to thank our sponsors of today's show, Showbloom, Sullivan Supply, WW Rodeo Livestock Systems, Tractor Supply, Western Ag Life Media, You Can Bid. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back at 2:30.